Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. I hope you've had a lovely day so far. And for those of you who are married to crypto, just like me, I hope you enjoyed this week's Metaverse update. Now, the last 7 days have seen a steady downtrend across top blue chip cryptocurrencies, with BTC and ETH back down at around $42,000 and $2,850 respectively. This is down from weekly highs of approximately 45,600 for Bitcoin and 3,260 for Ethereum. Top Metaverse tokens seem to have followed a similar pattern, with Mana descending from weekly highs of more than $3.50 to just north of $2.70, and Sand doing similarly, moving from more than $4.80 to bouncing around between $3.90 and $4. This seems to imply that despite different investor demographics, the Metaverse subsector isn't ready to completely decouple from blue chips like BTC and ETH. Now, this makes sense given Bitcoin's current attachment to top tech stocks. Meanwhile, Axie Infinity's AXS has been down in the dumps too, experiencing a serious downtrend even at the start of last week when BTC and ETH appeared to be bouncing back. We've had a suspicion for a little while that Axie could be dethroned as the top blockchain game, and I'm certainly curious to see how AXS's future pans out over the coming months, especially given the recent tokenomics changes to SLP. In Metaverse-specific news, Ubisoft has announced its push towards furthering the overlap between traditional gaming and the blockchain, despite pushback from gamers over the announcement of its NFT project, Quartz. Just a few days later, the gaming giant announced a partnership with top Metaverse, the Sandbox. Having secured land in the Sandbox, Ubisoft will be able to monetize and develop property as it deems appropriate. The partnership also includes bringing its successful franchise, Rabbids, to the Metaverse, implementing goofy recreations of the famous Rabbit characters. The company also plans to make similar moves regarding some of its other franchises, such as Assassin's Creed, Just Dance, and Far Cry. According to Sandbox founder Sébastien Bourget, we're pleased to see a company such as Ubisoft embrace the values of decentralization and let fans play with the Rabbids in novel experiences owned by their creators. Now, the idea of a metaverse is commonly associated with the implementation of virtual and augmented reality. Indeed, this is something we've seen with projects like Network and various blockchain games. However, one metaverse project, Portals, realizes that the hardware associated with VR and AR can be expensive and intimidating. In response, Portals is looking to establish itself as a well-known browser-based metaverse. That is, you should be able to enjoy the metaverse fully with nothing more than a browser like Chrome and a fairly decent internet connection. Portals is built on the Solana blockchain and announced the successful close of its $5 million seed funding round with big-name backing from the likes of Solana Ventures and Alameda. According to co-founder Adam Gomez, it would be like if Apple and Nintendo partnered up to build an open, fun 3D layer of the internet that people could interact with, and everyone, crypto natives or not, could form communities, design storefronts, and play user-built games in the city centre arcade. Personally, I find projects like Portals that lower the barriers to metaverse adoption very exciting indeed. And this week has even seen China dabble in the metaverse. Despite the criminalization of cryptocurrency in the country, China is still looking to explore the potential of metaverses. Newzoo's 2021 report, Intro to the Metaverse, suggested that China's involvement in the metaverse could look very different from that of other countries. One thing is for sure, however, and that is that any localized Chinese metaverse is going to feature a hell of a lot of censorship and control. I'm doubly confident of this given the Chinese government's crackdown on video games, blacklisting any content deemed violent or obscene. In 2021, China even imposed restrictions on how long children could spend playing video games. This seems to me like an overt abuse of power. Nonetheless, whatever metaverse content does come out of China, it is bound to be interesting. In other news, Gucci is pursuing its metaverse-oriented dreams too. The fashion giant recently announced the purchase of an undisclosed amount of land in the Sandbox, which will allow Gucci to develop its own thematic experiences inspired by its current Gucci Vault platform that displays various luxury virtual goods. It will also develop fashion items for users of the sandbox to wear in-game. According to Sandbox's Bourget again, for a new generation of players, virtual fashion is as important as real-life fashion. Goodness me, that man seems to be everywhere, and interest in virtual real estate seems to be growing in a big way. And finally, the developers behind popular meme coin Shiba Inu, ranked 14th by market cap, have announced their move into the Metaverse too, in the form of Shiba Lands. The space will allow a host of interaction between SHIB enthusiasts, and players will be able to use the leash token to purchase land in the virtual world. According to a blog post, overall, our focus is not only to disrupt the metaverse industry, but many industries in and outside the crypto world. And so, as you can probably tell, the metaverse space has not been slowed down by a sluggish week in the broader crypto world. Developments are still coming thick and fast, and staying up to date with all of them is something that even we at Coinbureau HQ find challenging at times. So I hope you've enjoyed this week's instalment, and as ever folks, we'd love to hear your thoughts on the direction of the metaverse space in the comments section below. Take care, and I will see you next week.